Good evening, everyone. It's your man of the hour, the man with the power, the living legend of professional wrestling punditry. Hello, my name is Lee Hazell, and this is a SteelChair Shoot, where wrestling's best writers fire from the hip and unleash their uncensored opinions upon an unsuspecting world. This week, we've given a live mic to James.
Hello, everyone.
And to Bradley.
Howdy, good to be back.
And here we are to lay down the law about the Royal Rumble, and can I tell you people, I am all rumbled out. We had two really good, spectacular rumbles. A few other matches here and there that were a bit hit and miss. But the rumbles themselves were absolutely fantastic. And if you weren't rumbled out by the end of the event, then guarantee you by the end of this podcast, you probably will be. How are you, James?
It's been a long weekend. But a good long weekend.
Yeah, with Takeover and that as well.
Yeah, not even just Takeover. If you decided to watch all of New Japan that was going on, you deserve a week off. Deserve a week off work, guys.
Anything you quickly want to say about NXT before we move on to the Rumble?
Great as always.
Yes,
they always hit out the park, don't they? So.
The Johnny Gargano, Andrade Cien mess. It's only early in the year, but that has already possibly reached the top of
really?
one of my favorite matches of the year. Just from a story perspective and just from an in-ring character development, it's pretty perfect and heartbreaking.
What was Aleister Black and Adam Cole like?
Oh, that was great. Well. Yeah, that was pretty incredible. That was I'm still in awe of how those people are not or dead after that. Was it a proper bloody match as well? Did they? Because I haven't seen it myself. So did they?
Cole had cut himself open. I think it was on his hands.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So he was bleeding quite a bit throughout. But
was it a blade job?
No. I think it was hard way.
Might have been from the kendo stick or something.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a bit of blood, but nothing like Triple H or Shawn Michaels-esque.
Yeah.
No crimson masks.
Yeah. But it was a really good match. Different spots throughout. They tried different, something new. With there was a chair spot where the back of the chairs were put together rather than facing open, so you'd land on the seated part. Adam Cole flipped Aleister Black onto it, or it was the other way around, I think. Yeah. Went back first onto it, he'd almost broke his back. It was really good.
After that, how do you take that move safely,
guys? You don't.
You just take it and suffer for the rest of your life. You suffer for 3 seconds of a move.
Me and Bradley were pretty much just texting each other as everything was going on, and it's just just a series of reactions ranging from "oh shit" or "oh my god," and then occasionally brief notes "that was good." Let's discuss about this.
Yeah, I was actually really disappointed that I couldn't see it because it's just too busy of a weekend for me. Because yesterday was my birthday, so I was even quite lucky that I had today. Thank you very much, James.
That's all you're getting out of me.
Not the full song. We're not quite there with our relationship yet. We've met each other face to face once. We can't
Twice.
When was this? Second?
Twice. What? Once was for RTX, and the other was for Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, I forgot about that because that was a bit of a blink and the miss sort of thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, I remembered. I remember every friendship I had.
So anyway, because of all that, by I would say midnight on Saturday, I had just been I wasn't smashing it up. I wasn't bang on it, but I was drinking pretty consistently throughout the day to the point where I was all tuckered out by 12 o'clock. And the next day I was busy as well. So it was just, I had to make a decision between Royal Rumble and an NXT takeover. Unfortunately, if you look at the numbers, Royal Rumble always gives us better numbers. So always gets us more views. I think it's about 2 or 3.
I was just so knackered for Rumble.
Yeah.
Because just before I even could even prepare myself, get ready to have a nap and stuff like that, I had to go do some training, and the training there was horrible. Like, I'll quickly talk about it just because I know we got to get on to the topic at hand.
we do, yeah.
But one thing we had to do was basically a shitload of squats. I didn't do all the squats because I'm still getting there, but I feel like I did about maybe, I don't know, maybe like 200, 250.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's
a good number of squats though. That's you'll have strong quads or thighs or whatever it is they call them.
I'm dead. I'm dead from the torso down. So it's a miracle I'm here right now.
Well, at least your voice is above your torso, so we know we've got that for you.
Oh, yes. Unless I'm talking out my ass.
Which, to be fair, is usually. Bradley, how are you doing, Sunshine? How are you doing?
Not too bad. I've not long sort of recovered from a man flu, cold sort of thing. So I'm getting there. I'm getting my health back.
My heart bleeds for you, son. Oh, Christ, you should listen to some of the shit that James has had to go through recently. you want to tell the story about the whiplash?
Yeah, if we want to quickly talk about it. So, in December, lovely Christmas time when everyone's having a joyous time about family and friendship, my car got hit by a bus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was coming out of a side road onto a main road, and just pulled out and hit my car on the side, completely, pretty much destroyed it. I had some minor whiplash out of that, so that was fun dealing with it. And I can say now is that they've finally paid out. So
that's good.
Yeah, not going to name
get the money aspect right. That's fine.
Yeah, not going to name the bus company because legal reasons. But fuck them for making me wait this long. For denying liability for that long.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're okay now. That's good.
Yeah, I'm better now. I'm going to take loads of stunners and RKOs from people now. Yay.
Okay, right, guys. First things first, did anybody watch the pre-show?
You know I did. It's always me.
Good thing. I did not.
Poor Bradley, you always take those 6 silver bullets for us, mate, I'll tell you. Right, well, do you want to get us on with the 6-man tag match between the Cruiserweights, the Cruiserweight Kalisto and Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado versus TJ Perkins, Jack Gallagher and Drew Gulak?
Yeah, it's what you normally get from the Cruiserweights. It's obviously the first match of the show, so they're still trying to pile people into the arena. So people don't understand how good they are. But it was obviously a very good match. The best spot of this match was probably there was a little bit where the 3 luchadors climbed onto the top rope in the corner, and it looked like they were about to climb on each other and do some sort of what's the policeman where they do that, the synchronized policeman thing where they climb on a bike. It looked like they were going to do that because they were all climbing up.
What, you mean like a pyramid, a human pyramid?
Yeah, I thought they were going to do some sort of pyramid, but then they just did moonsaults, in synchronized moonsaults on the outside. But it was still pretty cool because they were all perfectly in time with each other. One of the main things I got from that match is that I'm really starting to think that Gran Metalik is actually super crazy.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
No, as in literally super crazy, or
the wrestler super crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a solid match. It's a shame that Drew Gulak didn't, pick up the win or anything, because I think he's probably one of the biggest cruiserweights at the moment.
Yeah, he has had something of a renaissance. He was really treading water for the first, I would say, 4 or 5 months of the division, and then he kind of really found his he found his calling in his gimmick and his
Didn't he have a night gimmick or something to start with?
Yeah, he came down to the ring in chainmail, I believe, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit weak. But yeah, now he's doing really well as sort of this presidential sort of person. And it'd be great to see him become the GM on 205 Live.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
That'd be good.
But we'll probably get more to that later when we get to the Rumble, because there's probably other candidates.
Yeah, a particular candidate who I was very surprised to see come back to the Rumble, but something I was even more surprised at, to see the Revival actually get a win over Gallows and Anderson, which really is I think massively needed after they were just buried at Raw 25.
Maybe part of the 50-50 booking that they jobbed out to the Click, took all their finishers, and then they thought, we'll give them the win on the pre-show, because neither of them
that's
really
fair, I guess,
because it was a bit of a throwaway episode, the Raw 25.
It really was.
Effect. Pre-show, if you score a win over someone, no one really cares over that either. So it's a shame, because both of these are two great tag teams that are just sort of stagnating at the moment.
Really much so.
But we'll just see what happens. There's still a lot left of the year, so we'll see what happens to these two teams. Hopefully Revival move to SmackDown. Do something else.
Yeah, I definitely think, because if you look at Raw's current tag team division, and I say this like almost every time we have one of these podcasts, but you've got 3 teams in Raw's tag team division: the Revival, Gallows and Anderson, and the Bar, and they all basically fulfill the same role. These like big, hefty, hard-hitting, dominant heels who are supposed to just bully everybody around. But those 3 guys, it's all dressed up in a different way, but ultimately the role they play is always the same. So we kind of need them maybe bring, I would like to see them Breezango on a Raw, actually. I would like to see what they do on Raw, because Raw's got a bit more of the entertainment vibe going for it, so they might actually get a bit more of a push on there. Anyway, so Bradley, as you were probably the only one who saw this one as well, what did you think of Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley?
Oh god, well,
was it no good?
Night, right?
The last show, it was the last match on the pre-show, and then the arena had already started to. I think it was pretty full by then. So you thought, it's the first title match of the night. They might actually do something here. Bobby Roode was having an open challenge. Everyone was excited. It was like, is Dolph Ziggler going to come back? And I was I thought that was going to set the standard for the night. I was really worried that this was going to set the standard for the night, but unfortunately, Roode won it. And the less we say about it, the better. Roode's not someone that carries a match in himself. He's the sort of person that he does better if he's being given a better opponent.
Yeah.
So Mojo Rawley, I just don't. He's not
perfect opponent.
Yeah. And Roode, I think it wasn't a very good match, but we'll see how he goes as US champion. He needs to turn heel, I think, because on his previous work in TNA, he's much better as a heel. He's pretty boring as a face.
Yeah, he's a natural-born heel. I really don't know why they're making him a face.
He's every member of Evolution rolled into one.
Yeah, pretty much,
God,
yeah.
Right.
Let's see what happens with him. Hopefully he turns heel or something. There's a good face to challenge for the US title. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that is actually something you've gone onto there. I think he would be an excellent candidate if they were ever to bring back the 4 Horsemen. I think he would be an absolutely fantastic guy for that, yeah. So anyway, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match for the WWE Championship. Let's hear from somebody who isn't Bradley for 5 minutes. Let's go with James on this.
I thought this was a pretty good match. First of all, I just have to say, still love the passive, not passive aggressive, like just aggressive heel version of Sami Zayn.
Yeah, absolutely.
His entrance, just aggressively tapping his feet as he goes to the ring.
Did you listen to them on the Jericho podcast?
No. What
really
good on there?
They said because it's Zayn's first ever time being a heel in his career, really, that he's still learning a lot. So when he was first being that really obnoxious character where he's like flailing his arms around to Owens' music, Kevin Owens had to tell him to just turn it down a notch. He's just so over the top with it.
I love it though.
Yeah, no, I actually think that works as a heel thing because he looks so sarcastic as he's doing it. He looks like he's taking the piss.
So the match, was a handicap match. Interesting way to do a WWE title match, because I don't think have we had a WWE title, like specifically the WWE Championship, in a handicap scenario.
Probably, I would say it would have happened like during the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, when they used to hyper book up like people like John Cena or Stone Cold, like the big baby faces, and all the odds are against them. How can they possibly get out of this one? And then every single time they always do.
Yeah, I guess that's a similar scenario, but it did work. I mean, AJ wasn't dominating the entire time.
No,
and Kevin and Sammy did show how good of a team they are, and managing to get one over on him a couple of times. And there was even a really good spot where I think it was they had AJ on top of something like it was a corner spot, and then they threw AJ, but then it turned into like a head scissors. I thought that was cool. That was quite.
There was some really clever bits in that match where Owens was blocked he couldn't get the tag for Zayn because AJ was there stopping him. So then he slid out the ring and then went round.
Yeah, that was a good spot.
But it did show the fall of just how stuff was falling apart for them. They're just scrambling to try and get the win. The ending was a little bit weird. I want to say it's just a little bit maybe uncoordinated because there was meant to be the moment was meant to be where Sammy tags Kevin, and then after Sammy gets thrown out of the ring, Kevin goes for a pop-up powerbomb, but then it's reversed into a roll-up pin. But the thing is, though, it didn't seem like the first tag connected. So
no, it didn't. So I think
it didn't connect at all.
No, I think that was supposed to be the finish because it's supposed to be up in the air.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want. It's annoying. I do get really fed up where there's no clear finish.
Yeah.
It seems like they do it when they're not sure what to do in an angle.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit fed up of seeing that because I want them to just make a decision on where they want to go with something and just go with it rather than just making it obvious they're not sure on what to do. Because even after the match, they then went to Shane McMahon saying you clearly, you saw there wasn't a tag. And said, have you seen the finish? And he just answered, yep, which I thought that was quite clever. But I think it seems like an elaborate way for them to, sorry, not elaborate, sort of like a roundabout way for them to make this more about Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon.
Yeah, which is a bit disappointing because I'd like it to be about the actual wrestlers. And if they're going to make it about Daniel Bryan, then get him back in the fucking ring.
But there'll be more about shoving a McMahon into a scenario later on tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, that ending for me was this is basically how the whole Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens thing started out. I think when it was him versus AJ Styles originally in their original feud, is that he kept getting screwed out of the win. It kept being on technicalities. So if you add this to that lot of matches, then genuinely, yes, Kevin Owens is the most hard done by guy in WWE, hard done by the institution, by the officials, by the authorities. Yeah, he should have won a lot more matches than he actually has done. Probably should have had a lot more opportunities. And it's he's supposed to be the heel, but he's making such a valid point that I'm actually kind of with him on this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It worries me. Have you seen the Kevin Owens 365 documentary?
No.
Yes, I have.
It worries me because at the moment, you get from that what he does in the ring, he does to please Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And not actually because he wants to do something that's good for his own character.
There was quite a few moments in that where he did seem very disappointed in himself because he did disappoint Vince, especially with the WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. Is it 33 or 34? The
Jericho thing ended, which I thought was a good match, but according to Vince McMahon, it wasn't. So
it was.
What do we know? Nothing.
What? So what was the Kevin Owens match? The Jericho match.
Yeah, the United States title match.
What
which I thought had a really good payoff, but backstage, the first thing Owens did was go to Vince, and he was like, "What did you think?" And Vince was like, "I don't want to talk about it."
I thought that was one of the best matches of the night.
So
yeah, same. But we don't run a multi-million-dollar company apparently. So.
Shows you a lot about how Vince thinks about things.
Well, I mean, Kevin Owens is fighting an uphill battle against Vince McMahon at the best of times because he doesn't like his physique. He wants everyone to have the same kind of either absolutely. He wants everyone to be bulging with muscles.
Yeah.
And
So
Kevin Owens has got one big one in front of him, and it might not all be muscle. This
is what I think's the difficult thing for people like Owens and Zayn. Neither of them are traditionally huge guys. And they are very typical indie wrestlers in physique and style, ability. So the moment they stop doing things to please Vince McMahon and try and do things for themselves, I think they're going to be a lot happier. So I don't think they'll be, but when they realise that, they won't be in WWE much longer.
Yeah, it's getting to the point that
that's the thing, because like if Vince didn't like see anything in him, he wouldn't have taken a goddamn headbutt from him, like a legit. See something in him that's good, but
he can't do things like that and then not, reward him with a championship, because these two guys, particularly Zayn, works his arse off and he's not given any opportunities. And although I would like to say he's coming across like the better of the two in this duo at the moment.
Yeah,
which is quite good for Zayn, because he's the one that scored the victories over Styles recently. So I think maybe they're trying to build him up as the better of the two, and they're probably going to feud again.
Yeah.
I always said from the beginning that I think this is some sort of long-winded story where Zayn's actually just playing a game on Owens, where he's trying to pretend he's a heel, but really he's just going to turn his back on Owens to teach him a lesson about the amount of times he's befriended people and used people for his own benefit. I think Zayn might do that if they can win a championship. I don't know.
That's really good booking, Bradley, which is why it's not happening.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. I knew you were going to say that.
They don't think about long-term stuff, do they?
No. I mean, and essentially, like, the thing is, though, is that even if they do this, it's kind of like Festival of Friendship Mark II.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit, like, repeating itself, which is what I'm a little bit worried about. But yeah, I really...
Oh, God, no, it's Vince hates repetition.
I think some of the booking in this Rumble might prove you wrong there, James. I mean, so I really enjoyed the match. Not the best of Styles' career. There's still something where him and Kevin just can't quite like break out the 5-star match we all hope they are capable of. This was a very good, competent match, but I think it's more in like the 3 to 4 star range than 4 to 5. Yeah. So
they touched on that in the 365 thing. They said that you got two incredible wrestlers like Styles and Owens. Doesn't always mean they're going to have the best chemistry. So hopefully they can get there, because it's a shame not to see them put on any incredible matches. Yeah. But yeah, whenever they've been in the ring together, it has been quite. It's not what we've expected. Maybe we do expect too much from them. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Okay, guys. The next one is the Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. James, what did you think of this one?
I was kind of surprised that this one didn't go all through the falls, because it ended in the second fall with the and I thought
it ended 2-0 to him. 2-0 to the Usos.
That was an interesting way, especially because like throughout the majority of the first fall, there was like so many near falls. It was incredible. It was like, oh my God, when are they going to give up? when are they going to quit?
I know, yeah.
It just set the tone like so well of like how much Gable and Benjamin really wanted this championship.
It's frustrating for me, because not only do they seem unclear on whether they want Gable and Benjamin to be heels or faces, because I still don't know whether they are heel or face, because they've done some heelish things recently. But I think they are technically the best tag team on SmackDown, ability-wise. And I think it's a bit upsetting they haven't won anything yet, because the way they're booking them is sort of how they should have booked American Alpha.
Yeah, it's pretty much American Alpha 2.0 at this point.
But instead of American Alpha winning the titles straight off the bat, which they did, they should have made it a bit more like this, where they came, getting close and close, so you felt a bit more for them, because you really want them to actually win it in the end. Whereas with these, because they've had this sort of, back and forth where they've been a bit heelish at times, it's starting to make you think, do we really want them to, it doesn't really matter if they win it or not.
I was thinking this match could have gone a different way because, like, speaking of, like, say, outside sources with, it was in the news recently about, which Uso was it that was in the news about a DUI?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the one that's not married to Naomi.
Yeah, I was thinking at least what, like, they might have got punished because of this.
Yeah.
I thought, like, they might lose the tag belts because of this, because Lord knows they love a public bashing when it comes to this sort of thing. But they seem to get over with this, and I was kind of like shocked in that regard. But when it comes to, like, my favorite tag teams on SmackDown, Usos are up there, and when it comes to this, like, this new version with Gable and Benjamin, I would much prefer if they went their own separate ways, because I see so much more in Gable being a single than I do in this tag team, especially Benjamin.
I think they're both fantastic tag team wrestlers, but Gable has shown much more as a singles competitor, like more than Jason Jordan as a singles competitor.
Hashtag real Kurt Angle son.
Yeah. And it's what annoyed me about this match is that if they were going to do it as a 2-0, why have it as a 2 out of 3 falls? I think it's the same sort of thing with maybe with the Money in the Bank. They were trying to prove that it's not always a given that it's going to go to the third fall. So, like, with the Money in the Bank, it's not always a given that they're going to cash in and win it, sort of thing. Yeah. So maybe they use this match to just sort of remind people that 2 out of 3 falls isn't always a given.
Yeah.
But it's just disappointing that it's come at Gable and Benjamin's expense, because I do think they've got a lot to give. Like, they gave it their all in that match, I think.
Yeah. It just kind of being pulled under you, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, it's over. All right, I guess we're moving on now.
Yeah.
They really feel satisfying.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, the first fall, like, getting to the first fall, and the commentary made an awful lot about it. It was like, oh, we've not even had the first fall yet, and Chad Gable's taken all of these kicks to the head, and there's been a splash, and there's been all of these suplexes are brilliant. We don't often see this in WWE, but Chad Gable did a tiger suplex, and that was excellent. And yeah, I feel really sorry for Gable, because American Alpha were one of the most underrated assets on SmackDown for a good long while. Like for a long time, the division on SmackDown that was getting the shaft was the tag team division.
Yeah, I think the problem with American Alpha was that they booked them to win the championships far too early. Like, they cashed in on their success too soon.
Well, as well as that, there was, like, this absolute moment in time where they had booked them to be the champions, to do this, to do that. Yeah. And then they put it back on the Usos, almost as if they got cold feet, and it just absolutely took all of their momentum from NXT, all the momentum they had built up from their clashes with DIY and the Revival, and just put them into a screeching halt, and essentially kind of ruined them as a tag team. And the fact that they're just kind of, like, they had this opportunity to repackage both of these guys when they went their separate ways. Yeah. And now they are both in, like, back in tag team divisions, in essentially, like, mixed race tags as well. And it's like they've pushed them forward just to put them in the exact same place as what they were, and it's kind of like, it's so weird. And
some are worse than others.
Yeah,
I think what's sad about it is that the whole thing reeks of that sort of 90s booking where it's more about the storyline than the actual wrestling, because they were willing to just split up the tag team at the click of a finger because they had this storyline that Jason Jordan was going to be the illegitimate son of Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
What they really had on their hands was a fantastic tag team that was building up to something really good.
Precisely,
and then they just scrapped it just for this storyline that's gone nowhere.
Yeah. Do you know what I think? I think that we could probably blame Kurt Angle a bit for that, because I reckon that's him taking Jason Jordan, a guy who he sees a lot of himself in, and he's trying to, like... Kurt Angle really, really values a wrestler not having to take himself seriously, and can be in those silly storylines and can be in these over-the-top things and still have a lot of worth. Like, and this essentially, brings an extra dimension to your character. And he, I think, tried in that storyline to do that with Jason Jordan, and he's just backfired tremendously. Because as much as, some of us wish it was, it isn't 2002 again. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, just when it came to Kurt Angle in general, why Angle? I mean, the funny stuff was great, but when he took himself seriously, when he got down and gritty and just like trying to tear someone's head off in the ring, that's when I leaned in. I'm like, oh god, this is intense. This is gonna go all the way. But
him versus
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine when he's wearing a tiny cowboy hat and singing "Sexy Kurt." But there's a time and a place most of the time.
Spraying milk everywhere all over the ring.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need that for Jason Jordan at the minute.
No,
we don't need a whiny crybaby.
Yeah,
but we'll save more of that for later.
Yeah, and both of them, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, are two of the most underrated. Like Chad Gable in this, Michael Cole was the one who said it. Everything he does has just got such snap to it, and it just makes me wonder why WWE doesn't go into try to find its wrestlers from amateur wrestling more often, because so far it's just absolutely produced gold for those guys. Okay, well this is odd. We are only about halfway through this podcast, I would say, and we have already hit a Royal Rumble match.
Oh,
yeah.
Scheduling must be up. No, wait, no, definitely there.
Actually, one thing I would like to ask. Was this Rumble match, was the time in between entrants shorter this time around?
Yeah, I think
it
it's
was.
usually 90 seconds, but I think they made it 60. I think it was 90 on the first one when number 3 came in, but then it went down to 60.
Yeah, because there was definitely a few times where some of the guys had literally only just got in the ring and the countdown clock had hit 10 again.
I mean, I never trust the countdown clock in general, but, but it did.
They're lies.
Wake up, sheeple.
Okay, guys. Well, Royal Rumble match is not the usual kind of match, and I've actually been trying to go in my head how we actually tackle this behemoth 1 hour classic, and I'm just trying to figure out. So what I thought we'd do is, I am looking at the entrance in order of when they came in, and I think just maybe a few words on the more notable entrance. So, draw number 1 for the SmackDown brand. It's Rusev Day.
Rusev Day.
It's a Rusev Rumble, or a Royal Rusev, or a Rusev.
Oh, quick note, by the way.
Yeah.
Jerry the King Lawler on commentary called for a moment called it the Rumble Royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
How long has he been with the company?
Jerry. I genuinely think that might have been him just having a laugh, trying to play up how excited and how befuddled the whole thing's made him. Maybe.
Anyway, Rusev Day.
Rusev Day, yes. The crowd were chanting Rusev Day, not just throughout this Rumble, but also throughout another Rumble. When a certain superstar made her appearance.
It's such a joyous day.
Number 1 and 2, Rusev and Balor, I think they were probably 2 of the better people throughout because they lasted a long time as well.
Yeah.
It was really good to see. Early thoughts is that this is one of the best Rumbles of all time.
Yeah.
Just because of how perfectly they booked each person and their specific role within that match.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right down to the last 6 was quite clever. Even though preferably it wasn't the right 6, I think, but
I think what they were doing were how they made that divide between those 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's we'll talk about that. I think after we've gone through a few of the people. So you said Rusev actually was the 3rd guy to last the longest within the Rumble at 30 minutes, and Finn Balor was number 2, and he almost lasted a full hour. He lasted for 57 minutes and 30 seconds. And my God, by the end of it, that guy looked beat to hell. More sweat down the front of his face than I have ever seen in any wrestler in a long, long time. Probably since Kevin Nash tried to do 5 minutes.
I thought they were going to go all the way with this. I thought they were going to have him win. Because it seemed like, oh my God, are they actually going to do it? Then I felt like this is like the sort of thing I was thinking in my head throughout the entire thing. Like, oh my God, are they actually going to do this? Both in a positive way and in a negative way. So...
Which I actually thought they were going to go for it, and I thought they might do Finn Balor. Like, Finn comes out and he says, right, which guy do you want? And I thought Finn was going to say AJ Styles because, the whole, like, Bullet Club thing, the whole Japan thing, but also more than that is that last year we had a SmackDown guy win the Royal Rumble, and this year, well, we'll get to that, but, like, I really thought they were going to go the Raw route. So when he was still in there after an hour, I thought, oh my God, they're going to do the thing where he's 1 or 2 and he lasts the whole way in.
They still put a lot of faith in him lasting that long, though. So
yeah.
It's not like they don't have faith in Finn.
Yeah. Okay, Rhino got put in next for a cheap ECW pop.
ECW.
Yeah, cheap ECW pop from the crowd, only to get ousted 2 minutes later by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, by the way, the 4th entrant, the first elimination he got, and also got eliminated 2nd. And then went on a tear.
They did that really well.
Yeah.
It was clever to put Corbin in at that point, because he got eliminated by Balor, and then his immediate reaction is, this seems to be his thing at the moment, is that he'll lose, and then he lashes out at everyone.
Yeah.
So they carried on that really well, because that gave Rusev and Balor both time to rest on the outside for the next bit where Elias came out, which I thought was really clever, and Heath Slater as well being on the floor. For some time. So
I just want to say quickly that I thought it said a lot about Corbin's position in the company when they highlighted that last year he was the one that eliminated Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
And now he's been eliminated very early on.
Oh, so how the mighty have fallen.
Oh, yeah. Don't say stuff on Twitter, kids, that you can't regret.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I thought his tantrum, he did a lot less well than he really should have done. And the fact, that really stings. And you saw Baron Corbin just go on a tear after that. And I thought that tear was absolutely fantastic. Like the choke slam. Was it an end of days that he did to somebody?
He did the deepest of sixes to Rusev.
Yeah.
And then I think he gave him an end of days as well, which Rusev was because it's the end of days and it's this really strong move. It gave him a long amount of time on the outside.
Rusev Day was long that day.
Heath Slater came in next, and he was fantastic. I loved this role that Heath Slater played. Essentially, what happened is that he's the last person that Baron Corbin had a pop at as he was like making his way to the back. So the next 4 or 5 people that make their way down to the ring, like Heath Slater just gets I think he got stomped in the face by Elias. He got kicked in the back by Andre. He got shoved into the barrier by Bray Wyatt. Big E fed him a pancake. And then Sheamus, who I have found out recently that I share a birthday with, which, why couldn't I have been born on Cesaro's birthday? Sheamus, I think in almost a take-pitying sort of way, Sheamus throws Heath Slater into the ring, only for Heath Slater to then bounce off the ropes and then kick Sheamus out of the ring after 2 seconds.
I thought that was really clever.
Literally, so Sheamus
good.
did not last as long here as Daniel Bryan did against him at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I thought it was good because obviously Sheamus had the match afterwards as well, so they needed him to be in the Rumble. They gave him a reason to be in there, and it was such a clever Royal Rumble. Every single thing was booked really well.
Yeah. I absolutely, seriously, rivaling, because my favourite Rumble is 1998, and the reason it's probably got an elevated position for me is because A, Mick Foley came in 3 times with all 3 of his personas, and B, it was the first WWE proper pay-per-view that I saw the whole way through.
Yeah.
And so that's always held like a special part for me, but I think if we get a bit of distance, I think this might be my favourite Rumble ever.
Yeah.
It's definitely
shaping up to
up there with one of the best.
And particularly, now that I've said it's my favourite Rumble, now talking about one of my favourite moments in Rumble history. Elias entering to an empty ring that Baron Corbin has just cleared out. And like he's got all the time in the world to give the world one of his Dylan-esque tunes. Just, what an absolute bloke Elias is. What a fantastic person. Like, for once, I'm actually pleased that Vince got his grubby little hands onto somebody here. Like, this is a great gimmick.
He grew on me. He grew on, because I was not really like much of a fan of him in NXT, and then when I found out that he was going to get put onto the main roster, I was like, all right, I guess, you do you. But now, like, after like all this time, he's grown and he's become this cocky musician. Oh man, it's amazing. Taking like pops at everybody, including someone with a similar gimmick, the Honky Tonk Man. Even just cementing him as one of the key viewing points on Raw. So I'm glad he's here. He's like yucking it up.
Give that man a run with the Intercontinental Championship.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that could work.
Yeah.
Only if the Miz can be Universal Champion.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that, dude. Seriously, like, let's get,
well, he should be back on SmackDown to win the WWE Championship, if that's what they do.
I think him bringing the charisma and the storytelling ability that he's got against the match calling and the incredible athleticism of AJ Styles, I think that's a match made in heaven. I think that is SummerSlam material written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Next one we have Andre Cien Almas, who lasted actually a really long time. He lasted almost half an hour.
Yeah, it was a really clever moment to bring in the NXT champion, because I think last year they made the mistake of bringing up some people from NXT, making their debut in the Rumble. For example, Ty Dillinger, that's done nothing since.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did this really well, because it's like, for those of the people that are part-time fans that come to watch the Royal Rumble, they get a sense of who this person is. He's the NXT champion. So that they get that takeaway that, he's not going to be there on the main product all the time. And they can go away and then watch NXT if they want.
Yeah. And it's like, again, speaking about the position in the company now, flashback to like a year ago, Andrade was I think it was about a year ago, like his gimmick was basically just like messing around, partying, not really caring about anything, not even losing his matches. Flash forward now, he's like manned up, turned around, completely sorted his life out, and is now NXT champion, and now in the Royal Rumble.
I need to watch NXT way more often, dude, because the stories they're telling, and I'm like, it's kind of, like I need to make content about the wrestling that's going to get us the most attention. Unfortunately, that's WWE. NXT doesn't get nearly as much, but it's just such a shame for me, because like that storyline you're talking about there, yeah, I have seen that in bits and pieces here or there, but I've never been able to get properly invested in it. And just also a great thing that they're doing here, like establishing essentially, NXT guys are going to get into the Rumble. Hopefully we might get a couple of NXT guys get into a WrestleMania, despite the fact that really their WrestleMania is always the day before WrestleMania, and that's always such a great show. So I'm a little bit conflicted as to whether or not I want to see NXT guys in WrestleMania, because that might take the bite out of the NXT before Mania, which is always so special.
I just don't want to see them getting jobbed out.
Yeah.
Killian Dane. Sorry, got a cough there.
Is Killian Dane not doing well then at the moment?
No, like last year at the Andre the Giant.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah,
I thought he did quite well in that.
Yeah, but he lost the Mojo Rawley.
Yeah,
Mojo in Rawley.
Yeah. Do you know what
Then you have to look at like the final two were Mojo and Jinder, so it's like they probably did have a plan for him at the top.
What was happening there?
Because Jinder did go on to become WWE champion, I guess. So.
He was pre-hindered.
Yeah, that was like that was essentially them. Okay, we're talking about an entirely different Rumble now, so we're just going to wrap this conversation up about the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. But that I really hope they do something better with the Battle Royale this time. Like they give it to somebody who is, like maybe a Rusev or a Finn Balor, or do you know who I would love to see win that? Kofi Kingston. Just so he's got a battle royale under it, because we'll talk about this later, but he brings it every single time, and he's just I want to see him do his entire Royal Rumble, almost saving himself from eliminations, greatest hits package, do them all in one match, and then win the damn thing. So anyway, the next guy, Bray Wyatt, who always actually has a pretty decent showing in Royal Rumbles. He's had fairly good Royal Rumbles recently.
Yeah, he was quite good in this, and the crowd definitely popped for him, so it's not like there's a lack of support for him now.
Yeah,
so
Firefly's out in absolute force, yeah.
Was Matt Hardy in next afterwards? Was he the one after?
I think he was on, I think, a few entries later.
Matt Hardy was... Oh, Bray Wyatt was 8, and Matt Hardy was all the way down at 19.
Really?
Yeah. So he was
Bray lasted a long time, then.
Yeah, Bray lasted a long time, yeah. We'll actually talk a bit more about Bray when we get to Matt Hardy, so we're going to move straight on there, and we'll go to Big E Langston. Yeah.
Pancake man.
Like when he came down to the ring and just started feeding him pancakes to...
Pity pancakes.
Yeah, I thought that was great, yeah. He was essentially like helping Heath carb up so he could last longer in the Rumble. Didn't work, but yeah.
Eliminated one person. That's what. Who's to say he wouldn't have done it before pancakes? Yeah. If anything, someone should be testing those pancakes.
Yeah. And the best thing, when he gets into the ring and he does all of his his hip shaking and stuff. Yeah, Big E is great. All of the New Day guys are great. I really want to see when those guys split up. I really want to see him get pushed hard as singles compares. All of them. Kofi, Xavier, maybe they won't ever be I think Big E will be a world champion one day. I really do. I don't think Xavier Woods
would be a fantastic cruiserweight or US champion.
Definitely. I can see him as US champion.
I think he'd be a fantastic world heavyweight champion, but I don't see Vince ever putting that kind of faith in him. Do you know what I would love to see more than anything though when it comes to Xavier Woods? I'd love to see him take up a big place in WWE as a creative.
Oh, he will.
As a booker.
He'll be there. He'll be a mainstay for a long time.
He would be fantastic. The next one, 10, was almost, once again, 2 years in a row, Ty Dillinger. But unfortunately, James, you want to take us through this one?
He was assaulted backstage by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a particular hissy fit.
Trying to get their own back to then enter the Rumble to then claim their moment back.
Which
Sami Zayn took that moment and then ran down to the ring.
Who allowed this? Who wasn't getting people from the back, security and referees and officials to drag him back out into the ring? Are there no regulations in place?
They might address it on SmackDown, but it might not.
I mean, he lost. So yeah.
It'll be Shane and Daniel Bryan arguing about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do it this way. No, but I think we should do it this way. That's not your thing for a while. Okay. Moving on.
So, Sami Zayn, I thought Sami Zayn was in this for a lot longer, but no. He was only in it for about 5 minutes, about 6 minutes 45 here, yeah. He got, basically Shinsuke Nakamura. We'll talk about this in a minute, actually. I think we'll talk about this more when Nakamura comes out. But so the next one comes out is Sheamus, who, as we said earlier, got knocked out in 2 seconds by Heath. So the next one is Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods
teamed up with Big E for a bit.
Yeah, teamed up. I don't think he never got any eliminations, so he didn't really have much of an impact in this one. It has to be said. He didn't make him.
Xavier Woods sing it up. Just messing up.
Yeah, but Sami Zayn had the exact same thing, like no eliminations whatsoever. You'd think if they gave him such a big story moment with the whole like taking out Ty Dillinger, that they would actually give him an elimination, but they didn't. Next guy in was Apollo Crews, and he had no impact either. I don't remember
him. The standard at this point.
Yeah,
Apollo Crews with no impact. I laugh, but it's really sad.
Yeah,
because he's genuinely very athletic and very like fun when it comes to his in-ring work. But the character work that he's been given is just like, eh?
Yeah. I mean, like I thought he was brought up from NXT too quickly. I have to say, I thought they essentially to try and beef up the rosters, they brought him up too quickly. The next guy I think we should talk about. Actually, one interesting thing about Apollo Crews is that when he came out as number 13, Michael Cole made the point of saying, "Oh, if only 4 people in the history of the Rumble have come out in one of the teen numbers." And then who comes out next in one of the teen numbers? But Shinsuke Nakamura. Who we will talk about. We will definitely talk about him later. Cesaro comes out, starts an uppercut train. I thought that was really entertaining. He doesn't last long. He only gets like about 5 minutes himself. But he does manage to eliminate Apollo Crews, so that's that's good. At least one half of the bar who, Cesaro went for 5 minutes, Sheamus was out in 2 seconds, need to keep him fresh for the next match. I can understand that, especially seeing as how Seth Rollins was in it for damn near half an hour, and frankly you could see it on Seth Rollins' face in the match between him, Jason Jordan and the Bar. Like, he was giving it his all in that next match, but he was not,
But we'll talk about that thing, but then that's when I'll bring up a questionable decision regarding that.
Okay, right. So, where are we? Kofi Kingston next, who did one of his trademark Rumble saves, which this time involved the plate full of pancakes, which, I'll be honest, guys, I gave myself a bit of a break of WWE over the last, I would say, couple of months, so I haven't really seen, like, I had no idea about the Yep movement. I didn't really know about the whole Kofi Kingston thing. All this stuff between Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon has kind of passed me by. I've had to, like, catch it up with them video packages.
It's on SmackDown, so we don't blame you.
Oh, do you have anything to say about that? Oh, yeoman of the SmackDown. No, I'm talking to Bradley here. Or do you do Raw now? Which I can't keep hold of which one you do now because you always chop and change it so much.
I've changed once. I just don't write about it for a month and get Seth to do it. It's, I don't know, SmackDown's. You can clearly tell that all their creative energy is going to Raw at the moment. I think with who's won the Royal Rumble and stuff, we could see a change in things. But yeah, the last sort of 18 months haven't been particularly great for them. Hopefully we just see things change. I don't want to get into it too much because I'll never stop talking.
When essentially Raw found out that it was losing to SmackDown because SmackDown was better than Raw at the time, like they just tried to bury SmackDown. They weren't having it.
It really angers me that they always have the competition between the two brands when it's they're both working for the same team essentially. So they could make both products fantastic.
Well,
just better than the other.
What they want to do though, and this is what Triple H has always done in interviews, is essentially say that ROH isn't our competition, New Japan isn't our competition, TNA isn't our competition, we are each other's competition. We are the two biggest wrestling shows on earth right now, and the only one that's ever going to come up and challenge us is going to be NXT.
I agree to an extent, but you don't want to be your own competition. Like, you need to be very aware that all the independent shows and all the shows across the world are providing a different platform for other people. They're providing. It's not what it used to be. People can now go there and make just as much money or a big name for themselves.
Well,
It doesn't have to be just one competitor, which is what TNA tried to be and failed.
Yeah.
It's better off if you just work for different people and work your own schedule. So, like Cody Rhodes has proved that he can be a huge success away from WWE.
I think there's going to be a few who are quite unhappy with WWE's booking and treatment of them right now.
Oh yeah, Austin Aries realised that and he's jumped ship.
Yeah.
And
he's now
they're just poaching other people now.
So I think Neville will go and he'll do absolute bits elsewhere.
Oh, if he ended up going for New Japan, which I think might be his next port of call, I even think he might end up winning the G1 Climax.
Yeah, I'd love to see Neville against Ospreay. That'd be an unreal match.
I mean, I think he'd do really well in, like, you know, the best of the Super Juniors and doing all of, like, the Super Junior stuff. But I think he's heavyweight material for New Japan. I think him versus Kenny Omega would be insane.
Yeah.
Next, Jinder Mahal. Actually, Jinder did do something. He cleared out two of them, the New Day guys.
Yeah, which is clever. I think they're trying to set up trying to set up a mini feud between Jinder and New Day because of the whole US Championship tournament, where Jinder and both Woods got knocked out of it. But
right, yeah, another thing that I didn't see.
The best person to take on Bobby Roode, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I would actually like him to like them to have a feud with Jinder Mahal and get the Singh brothers involved, because the Singh brothers are really good, and I think
they would.
They are.
One of them's injured.
Oh, okay.
One of them tore their ACL, I think.
Okay, that's just one thing then.
Yeah. So
that's a shame, because right now, you know, they're basically playing the J&J security role, which is disappointing for them because they are much better wrestlers than right now they're being used as. So I would definitely like to see them wrestle a few times on TV at least. Maybe even just go back down to NXT and have a good a good while on NXT as you know, in a few feuds and maybe even a championship.
I'm not surprised they're injured, to be honest. Have you seen the shit that they've been put through?
God.
Literally, the shit that they've been put through.
It was like ragdolls, just throws them about on tables.
Those Singh brothers are saints. I'm sorry, but they are. Like, God bless you, boys. Like, seriously. Okay, moving on. Seth Rollins came in for what was a hefty amount of time, actually.
And what's he wearing?
I tell you what he's wearing. He's wearing his Burn It Down trousers. That's what he's wearing.
You know, go out on Sunday where you burn it down trousers.
He's making his Guy Fieri t-shirt as well.
No, you know, there's the flame.
Oh, boys. Oh, God. Oh, I love you guys. Right. So Seth Rollins, he got 2 eliminations. Let me see. Okay, he got Cesaro. And who else did he get? Oh, and The Miz. He got Cesaro and The Miz. So I guess he did something. But yeah.
Yeah. Did he do a curb stomp again?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Curb. Yeah.
He got eliminated by Reigns as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think what they're trying to set up, because with the tag match that followed, I think what they're going to set up is Rollins versus Reigns, with who's going to face Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
that'd be good.
Because there's Elimination Chamber on the way as well, so those two will probably square off.
Okay, the next guy to come out is Matt Hardy. And here's, I think, the point where we start talking about Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt was in here for about 20 minutes, but he only really started making his impact when he started properly fighting with Matt Hardy. They basically, they cleared everyone in the ring, got them all, down by the ropes resting, made sure they had plenty of room to beat the crap out of each other, both went over the top at the same time and started continuing their feud.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good. I was just going to say quickly that it was really intriguing that they thought hey, how about these would actually kind of work in a different world as a tag team or just as a duo. But then ultimately the clash continued, and then they just kept fighting amongst themselves. I thought that was quite
There's
fun.
a lot that they can do with those two. A lot. So I think having them fight in these singles matches is quite clever, but have that done as soon as possible, because there's more to it than just that. There's so much character building they could do with the two of them.
And and then as well, Jeff Hardy might be injured, but when it comes to
Yeah,
well, no, I was gonna say like when it comes to like what's their stipulation, like the unbroken, or like what is it they call it, deletion, a final deletion or whatever it is. Yeah, like when it comes to like one of those kinds of matches, Jeff Hardy doesn't really need to be match fit. No. Like they could just film him doing crazy shit. Like he doesn't. So like
about the Rumble in general is because you don't necessarily have to be match fit to be in a Rumble.
Yeah.
Like I thought McIntyre was going to come back and eliminate Almas just to continue that sort of feud.
Oh really? Okay.
But less doesn't matter. Carry on.
Because what I was going to say was that Jeff Hardy may be injured, but Brother Nero isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop. Anyway, so the next guy comes in, John Cena. Who, really great, really great Rumble performance, and massively, we still get it. I think at the moment it has to be, surely the only reason they're chanting John Cena sucks is out of tradition now, surely. Because John Cena does not suck. John Cena is one of the greatest fucking professional wrestlers of all time. And then
I think that's the whole... Yeah. It's still that sort of with him and Reigns, it's we're not going to do it the way that they, the WWE want us to do it. We want to... They're not our favourite people, despite, they're supposed to be the top guys. They're not our top guys. So we're going to, rebel against that. I think that is still the case.
I mean, I treat the John Cena sucks chant an endearing chant at this point.
Yeah, the same thing
like you suck.
Angle. Yeah, but because I think people know, if you're smart enough about wrestling, you know that John Cena is a hard worker, but he is a bit boring. Like it's the same moves.
Shoulder charge.
Yeah,
back
and you know what you're going to get with him. But personality wise, he's fantastic, and I think when he was in that match, he played up to the, eliminating certain people, and then when he was facing off with the new guys against the old guys, I think that was really clever the way they did that. That maybe they are teasing this John Cena that he's not a heel, but he doesn't care what's going to get in his way to actually achieve greatness. I think they're slowly getting there because as he gets older, he's getting more and more desperate to achieve Ric Flair's record. Because he was saying that it's not about... I can't remember who he was showing down with. It might have been Nakamura or Balor. But he's pointing at them saying, it's not your time, it's still my time. Pointing at the WrestleMania logo.
Yeah.
You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise, it's hiding now.
Yeah. He got rid of a few people, actually. He was the one who ended up finally getting rid of Finn Balor. Who, after damn near an hour, Finn Balor just looked like he just conked out. Yeah, I think when it comes to Finn Balor, I think what they're... Essentially, the storyline they're going to go with forward from this is that he wasn't necessarily defeated by John Cena, he was defeated by the fact that he came out second. Because I have never seen, I don't think, anyone more knackered than Finn Balor at the end of a match. Like, he just... Like, I swear to God, the paint was peeling off and he wasn't even wearing any. Yeah.
That's a good one, actually. Put that in your review, Brad.
Yeah. I'll just put that in my little arsenal of quotes. Okay, so the next guy. Real tragedy, this, because I really hoped he would have had like a little bit more of an impact in the Rumble. And I really... Here's another person who, we're talking... I think this guy might be a candidate to be one of 205 Live's... What's it called? GMs. Like him and another guy who's coming up later on today. This is the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit. Holy shit, it's the Hurricane.
Really clever. Did he come back because, personally, he's good friends with Matt and Jeff, isn't he? Because he's also from Cameron, North Carolina, or wherever it is they're from.
Yeah.
I personally want to believe it was because he did a good job of insulting a certain former Cruiserweight champion on Twitter. And therefore, WWE was like, "Yeah, just come on."
Oh, did he have a pop at Enzo?
He was saying something like, if you want a real Cruiserweight champion, then he was just holding up his old belts.
Well, as well, like there's There's another Rumble surprise that happened in the other Rumble, and I really, really hope that we get we get them two people reunited, and we'll go forward as to what that is later on. But the next time comes Aiden English. Once again, nothing much to write home about, which is disappointing. Obviously it was going to happen though, because right now Aiden English isn't even a wrestler, he's a voice, he's a valet for another more popular wrestler in Rusev. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, he's essentially playing the Lana role, like, with him.
I think with someone like Aiden English, is they're putting him sort of aside to push Rusev a bit, because he's still got a long time left in his career.
Yeah,
because I think he's. Hang on, let me just have a look. He might just be 30. Surprisingly.
Oh, really?
Even though he hasn't got much on top.
Well, I got to tell you, Bradley, as somebody, I am like, you know, I am a year older than him, and I am like, you know, I've been slowly but steadily, like, it has been receding since I've been about 22. So. Oh god, every single haircut just gives me another layer of horrors to have to deal with in my life.
Yeah, Aiden English, he's one of those people that you can tell he's got ability, it's just he hasn't got the right sort of... His gimmick could be better. But... Well,
as well, like, I don't think Vince has kind of, like, that much purchase with the kind of things that he does. Like, you know, like, I love the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains were one of my favourite gimmicks of all time. I absolutely love that. The entrance they did is one of the most perfect entrances, I think, in NXT especially. You could only get something like that to work in NXT. Like... Yeah. And it was so good, and I was so upset that they can't put their faith in people who are a little bit more out there, a bit wackier.
Yeah, definitely. He's got this sort of idea that I can't remember. It might actually be a direct Vince quote that funny isn't money.
Yeah,
but it's a shame because
I could quote you more stuff that Vince said over this past week. That's bullshit.
But yeah. We'll see what happens in the future. He's 30 years old. He's married into the Guerrero family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a point. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's something that could go for. Is that he's part of the Guerrero family? I don't know, but yeah, at the moment he's just quite content working with Rusev. So.
Yeah. The next guy comes in, Adam Cole.
That was a brilliant little treat.
Yeah. He didn't do anything though. Like, he lasted about 5 minutes and got eliminated by a guy we're going to mention earlier, but like later on.
It's because they were still selling his injury, which was quite good.
Yeah, I mean, they did say at one point, like, I don't know whose movie took, but like he landed straight on his arm and then got back in the ring and kept fighting. So that was good. But I think what they're establishing with Adam Cole, especially, as well as Cien Almas, is the fact that we can have NXT guys, but they're not necessarily going to be on Raw or SmackDown the next week, because, you know, he's still got plenty to do with the Undisputed Era. There's no way this guy is leaving NXT without ever having won the championship, unless, you know, something disastrously bad happens like it happened to Kenta. So the next guy coming in is Randy Orton. You guys just talk about this... You guys talk about this just for a second. I've got to step away from the mic for a couple of seconds.
Okay.
Cool.
So, Blandy Orton, what do you think of his thing?
It was clever because he lasted until, you know, he was towards the end, which is sort of like the old guys against the new guys. And there was that element of, like, his position. He's in the same position that he was in last year, where he's like... You don't know what's going on with him or what angle he's involved in.
He eliminated quite a few people, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because of course he did.
Yeah. But I really don't know where he can go from here. Like, it's going to be boring. Is he going to move to Raw? I don't know.
I don't know.
I really don't know what they can do with him. Like, he's still like 40 years old. He's been in the company for such a long time.
I feel like if John Cena leaves, he can pretty much take that role. And just sort of be a part timer, casually come in whenever, say they need the viewing to pop up, the ratings to pop up a little bit.
Yeah.
But just as his character in there is just like bland. It's not. There's nothing there. There's just a husk of a man that goes around RKOing people. And yes, he did do a cool RKO to was it Almas?
I think so.
Yeah, Almas rope, and he did his old RKO thing, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, that's fine. But what else? What else he got? I'm trying to think who the next person is in the Rumble. Lee had the list. I don't have it. Why did he abandon us in a time of need?
What's that?
You abandoned us. We finished talking about Randy Orton.
The next person is Titus O'Neil.
Oh yeah.
Who was, of course, eliminated by Roman Reigns.
Oorah, oorah, oorah.
Are we done talking about Titus? Is that what
we're pretty much, yeah. Next on to a guy I know you two both really like a lot more than Titus O'Neil. Roman Reigns? The Miz!
Yes.
Yeah! The Miz, baby.
Miz did really well. It didn't eliminate anyone, but he did a really good bit with the yes kicks on Cena and Reigns. Before he didn't do a great deal before being ultimately eliminated by Rollins and Reigns together. And I think that was when Reigns then got rid of Rollins.
That was it.
It's a clever little nod because it was obviously Miz was sort of feuding with the Shield, so then they've got rid of him. And then obviously Reigns turned his back on Rollins. I don't know whether any sort of did that shoulder shrug thing, like it's every man for himself, but
there was definitely a stare down. There was definitely like stairs.
That's not the last we will hear of that, obviously.
Okay, so the next guy in Rey Mysterio, the other the last surprise of the night.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
The last surprise of the night, and the man who I believe everyone will now be hoping is going to be the manager of the GM of 205 Live, despite the fact that I actually think it may very well be Gregory Helms. But yeah, no, Rey Mysterio, what a fantastic surprise! A great little, just pop it. Like I think he got off about 4 or 5 619s at some point.
Yeah,
he just kept kicking.
Eliminated Adam Cole as well. Which is quite
good. Maybe, yeah.
So I was just really happy.
Rey Mysterio would actually be a good fit if they ever do this thing where they bring people back into NXT. Like if they try to really make NXT the equivalent to a Raw or a SmackDown and have it not be as something that you like go into at first and then graduate from. I think Rey Mysterio would be a really good candidate because he has no prior history with NXT and he can go with people like Cien Almas. And a lot of other people, I think that would be really good. There's a lot of
different ways they could go with it. Like, they could put him on either Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live.
He'll be champion in seconds in 205 Live. They won't even...
in the air because he's booked... He's being advertised at 5-star, but then again, who isn't advertised at 5-star?
I'm advertised at 5-star.
Exactly.
I'll see you there, CM Punk. You'll definitely be there.
So, yeah, I don't think he'll appear at 5-star. He's going to... he probably will come back to WWE, but it depends on what his schedule will be. I think working with the Cruiserweights would probably work out best for him because he wouldn't have to do a full schedule. But it'd only work if they scrap 205 Live and then bring the Cruiserweights as part of Raw and SmackDown. And then, it's not its own... It's sort of... The Cruiserweights are their own separate roster, but they're not a brand exclusive 205 Live. Because if they're going to do that, why don't they do that with the tag teams? Why don't they do that with the women? Why haven't got their own separate pay-per-view? It's you need to make it a part of the main show because they're excluding them. And the best way to do that is to bring Rey Mysterio in, not as general manager, bring Hurricane in as general manager, but then to say his first call of being general manager is to make a tournament to crown the new champion. So we'll have another Cruiserweight Classic. Rey Mysterio will You could put someone like one of the Singh brothers in it because they were both in the first one. You could have so many people back in it. You could have someone like Pete Dunne or, Tyler Bate. They could all be in it. There's a lot they could do with the cruiserweights that they're not doing.
Yeah, I think when it comes to stuff like that, there's plenty of room, there's plenty of options, and I really like that idea of having a new cruiserweight classic off of the back of a vacant championship. That is a fantastic idea, and maybe that's where we get Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa to have another classic, because oh god, their match there was one of the matches of the year for that year for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one, we got the big dog, Roman Reigns.
Ooh. Sorry, habit.
Came in at 28 and also joint most eliminations with Finn Balor, interestingly.
Oh, yeah.
So you can tell they're trying to put all of Kane's records onto Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when they did their little record package to find out that actually it used to be that Jericho was the guy who spent the longest time in the it is now Jericho who spent the longest time in the Rumble, which I didn't think they'd ever try to take away from Shawn Michaels.
No, I wrote about that last year.
Oh, did you?
I did all those stats that they were reeling off. I was like, I covered that last year.
Yeah.
That was one of the last times I actually did an article other than SmackDown for the website.
The thing with the Reigns thing, I thought they were going to put him at 27, but when Rey Mysterio came out, I was like, oh my god! But the thing is, like, we can now that we know about all the stuff they've been pushing on Reigns for like a full on while now, you can definitely see all the stuff, all the focus, especially in later things where there's that standoff and like they go put the camera to Reigns, they put the camera to this other guy. And then you think, oh, you're going to put a camera on another person? No, back to Reigns. Then back to this other person. Then back to Reigns again. It's just all this focus. But it wasn't too bad this time.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as it has been in the past.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to like maybe rein in, like they still want him to be booked strong because they're still going forward dunderheadedly, like, just like pig-headedly with this whole definitely Roman Reigns, definitely Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns going to be the one to knock off Brock Lesnar. Why? But okay, right. Okay.
I was booing your play on words, by the way.
Oh, what did I do? What did I say?
You said rein it in.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even realise I'd done that. Yes, no, I'll give myself.
You're a poet and you don't know it.
Now you're the one who's going to burn in hell. I'll give myself 30 lashes for that later. So yeah. The next guy was Goldust, which was a decent pop, but he only managed to last about 2 minutes, as basically fodder for the number 30 slot. A surprising return from a Dolph Ziggler, just to give him an elimination.
I thought that was quite clever, because I think they've done it backwards, like they've redone. So his whole gimmick was, I haven't got a gimmick.
Yeah.
But then they sort of reversed it, so the record scratch was the first thing you heard.
Yeah.
And then his music played. Whereas before it'd be his music and then the record scratch. So I think maybe it is him now saying, there is life in me yet. This will be my last run.
Well, that's a pretty poor last run, because he managed to do 90 seconds before Finn Balor just like knocked him out.
But I think
it did super kick a lot of people. So there's that.
I thought he had a good 90 seconds. Considering who were the other people left in the ring.
I mean, he super kicked their heads off quite a few people.
Yeah. So I'm not done with Dolph yet. I know he's like been in the company for a long time, but I still think he's got one last big championship run in him, maybe.
Yeah.
But we need to see what happens. Maybe he'll hold the title in between Styles. Maybe he'll take it off Styles and then lose it again. I don't know.
He could be a transitional champion, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so our final six people where you could really see, like, this was the final stretch of the Rumble. This was where, like, the whole, like, the meat of the Rumble sort of, like, stops, and this is kind of like the dessert where all the eliminations, all of the different spots, and now we're properly telling a story. And so in the ring, there is Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, and Shinsuke Nakamura. The old guard on one side, some NXT originals on the other. And so
Excellent.
this is quite good and handy because, and here's the thing, when they put those two people on either side of one another, when they essentially drew the battle lines, they then redrew the battle lines after Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio were both eliminated to the fan favourites versus the company men.
Yeah.
In Roman Reigns and John Cena versus Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. And essentially just setting this up who's going to win? Those chosen by the McMahons or those chosen by the planet?
Yeah. It was a really clever sort of shift in narrative quite quickly. I think they've done it really well.
Yeah.
Hands down.
This was one of the moments where I was thinking, oh my god, are they going to actually do this? Because I could obviously foresee them doing like a Cena or Reigns win. But then I was thinking, oh my god, they could actually do Finn Balor or
I was sat watching it
winning.
with some friends, and I was just there with my hands were over my face, and I was just like, please, just don't do this to me. You cannot have Nakamura in the ring with Reigns and then let Reigns win, and then I just couldn't.
Would get booed off the entire planet.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is they surely they know that Reigns versus Lesnar is a given anyway.
Yeah.
They don't need to have Reigns to win the Rumble to have that match.
Which
needs it.
I thought genuinely after Finn Balor got eliminated, I was like, right, well, they're not going to have two SmackDown guys win the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. They're just not going to do it. It's going to be a Raw guy, and that means it's got to be Roman Reigns.
It's just clear evidence that they really do know what they're doing. And when they annoy us, they're doing it deliberately to annoy us because they're aware of how people will react to things.
Yeah.
So
evidence last year when they put Reigns at number 30.
Yeah.
They know how to make a star, and they've done it perfectly to put Nakamura at their number one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've done that really well.
Yeah. I just that was really cool. I think I wasn't the last few minutes weren't necessarily amazing, I have to say. They were really good.
It's always hard when you've got the last two left and it's over the top.
Yeah, and I think especially when it comes to Shinsuke, a lot of what he does in WWE has to be really watered down from what he was in New Japan. So the kicks don't quite connect with the same ferocity as they would have done in New Japan.
It's facing because they want to protect certain people, don't they? From getting hurt.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see that it was a knee, wasn't it? That actually eliminated.
Yeah.
Which that was quite good.
That knee, would you have said it would have counted as a Kinshasa? Because I don't think, when it comes to the Kinshasa that he hits, usually, I don't actually think he hit one like he usually hits in a one-on-one match that entire time. So, and when it said, Michael Cole came out and said, the knee, I'm just thinking to myself, call it as a Kinshasa. Put some, the running, that was always the worst part about Daniel Bryan thing. The running knee sounds just so pedestrian, so mundane. And just, call it the Kinshasa. Call it something with a bit of bite, a bit of energy, a bit of aggression to it. But yeah, no. When he hit him, when he hit Roman Reigns, and then you could just sort of, see Roman Reigns kind of oh, no, I'm still on my feet. But, then Shinsuke just dumped him out and was the same sort of thing with Balor, where it was essentially, it was exhaustion that defeated him. It was I've been doing this for the last 20 minutes. I've just been hit with something. I might have got my shoulder up if you counted me to 3, but I just can't hang on to those ropes. I just can't, steady myself to not just fall straight on my ass after being chucked over the top. And I thought that was fair enough. That was a more realistic ending, I think, to a Royal Rumble than sometimes we would get.
Well said. Well said. It's one of my favourite Rumbles.
Yeah,
one of
absolutely.
My favourite matches ever.
Just so clever.
And especially when it linked to one of my personal favorites was 2006, where Rey Mysterio won. So when they link that to it, I'm just like, oh, you've got my heart, WWE, in a minute. But don't play with my heart.
and honestly, I genuinely think if Roman Reigns did win that, I wouldn't have been too upset because, like, still think Roman Reigns is a great wrestler. I still think he's a guy who's got a lot to give, and that Royal Rumble match was so good. I'd have been like, yeah, okay, Roman Reigns, I'm fine with that. He had a really good Rumble. He knocked out 3 people. He looked strong, and he didn't, he kept the work rate up. He kept being quite good, yeah. Oh, right. See, this is the problem with having the men's Royal Rumble as like the 3rd card on a 6-card match, because now we've got to talk about Cesaro and Sheamus versus Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. I just don't think I've got it in me.
I mean, it was
I'm still going to write about it as well.
oh yeah, no, because you only got, like, we were supposed to record this at 1, and you only got up at like 12:30?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Did you want to sum it up quickly?
Yeah.
I've got nothing to say about it really, so I'll let you guys do it.
Okay.
The best way to sum it up was Jason Jordan suffered an injury early on. So then Rollins, after also, being in the Rumble for 20 minutes, something like that, then had to, basically have a 2-on-1 match. Jordan eventually got back to his feet, tried to tag in, and he was feigning some sort of concussion injury, tagged straight back out, and Rollins just got beat up by Cesaro and Sheamus, who've reclaimed their tag team championships.
Yeah, so this tag team's pretty much dead.
Yeah, so I think what they've done the Jason Jordan thing quite well. That is this sort of he's had a lot of opportunities given to him because Kurt Angle is his fake dad, and that he's now wasting these opportunities, and he's a bit of a spoiled brat. So where they're going to go with it, I think they should keep going with it, and they need to do something with Chad Gable, I think.
Yeah.
Because clearly the better of the two. Well, he's all round better. I think Gable could work as a face or a heel quite easily, whereas Jason Jordan, I think he can only work in this angle just because he was supposed to be a baby face, I think, but that was rejected. So now he's being thrusted on him that he's sort of...
It was rejected because their writing pretty much made him this sort of whingy crybaby. Yeah. And then they just had to sort of work with it.
Yeah, it's been a real shame because, like, I think Jason Jordan's a lot better than this. And I think especially, like, he's the fresh man. He's the guy who hasn't just been in a Royal Rumble. His partner's been in there for 20 minutes. And this just makes him look so weak to get a concussion.
I think that's the point. That's what they're doing. But it's also worrying in the long term because how is he going to come back from it? Because you still want him to have a career in the WWE.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand how the programming is made better by this character and how Jason Jordan is made better by this character. I don't think it is. I don't think anyone... I think this benefits nobody, essentially.
There must be some sort of thing they've got planned for him and Kurt Angle.
He's got to, like, end up being some sort of, like, really bratty, condescending heel at some point, and, like, really get people to hate him through that.
Yeah, if Angle might be fit, then you can maybe work a few more matches. It would work for Jason Jordan to beat him at WrestleMania and then build up a new heel. That's the way they could work it going forward, is then people to realise how good he is as a wrestler and then work him up as a heel as well. But I don't know. I don't make the booking decisions. Yeah. So.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am actually really glad that Sheamus got him a little birthday treat by winning the tag team titles on his birthday, especially after such a poor Rumble showing. Which, I mean, like, that was essentially setting him up. So him and because I was really thinking, so Jason Jordan, like, is going to do all the donkey work now in this match because somebody has to. Because the rest of them have been, like in a Rumble. Like, Cesaro lasted, about 10 minutes. Seth Rollins, and God bless him, he had every bit of that 20 minutes on his face during this match. Yeah. So it was just,
I I think it just shows how much faith they have in the Shield members, that they want those guys to be the really strong guys on Raw.
Yeah.
That Rollins can go that long in a Rumble, then also basically do a 2-on-1 handicap match. And Reigns is the guy that lasted towards the end in a Rumble as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the thing is that it's just like, I wanted this match to be really good, and I thought it could have been. I thought Jason Jordan, Seth Rollins, Sheamus and Cesaro could have had a really excellent match. It's just the way they've booked it, they've kind of made that impossible. And it's like, okay, here is some story, here is some downtime, here is,
It's always been more about the story, though, so I think that's why that the wrestling suffers at times.
Yeah. And I think, I don't think it has to, though, and that's the problem that I have with the kind of the booking. Anyway, if I was going to see what happened in the Women's Royal Rumble, which is a much, much greater importance to me than the current state of the Universal Championship. So if you guys saw Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman and Kane in the triple threat match for the WWE Universal Championship, I've missed it. I'll catch it up later, but you guys
So this was just a popcorn spectacle thing. It was there was a lot of over the top stuff, people being thrown around, just clashes,
a few table spots.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just people going holy shit as well. It was basically just a giant at this point. There was a nice callback to, I think it was Great Balls of Fire, where when in Great Balls of Fire, Braun Strowman crushed Lesnar with a table, the announce table. But then they called that back by Brock doing that to Braun, and I thought that was quite well done.
Also, don't forget the bit near the start where Strowman goes for a knee, where it does sort of connect the knee, and he does hurt Brock quite a bit, and he was not happy, and he legit punches him in the side of the head.
Oh my god, sorry, like Brock Lesnar legit punches Braun Strowman in the side of the head.
Jesus. Not okay. Could have knocked him out.
Yeah.
But luckily Strowman is built like a brick shithouse and more.
Yeah.
So, he took it
7 brick shithouses.
Sort of
I can imagine,
oh, I must have fucked up, but let's carry on, we've got a match to do.
Kane,
so yeah, that happened.
Right, I guess.
It's quite obvious that they're trying to... I think they're not going to renew Lesnar's contract because he costs them too much money to only appear once every month or every 2 months. So I think they're trying to get the most use. Yeah, they're trying to get the most use out of him until then. So he's going to be their sort of main attraction. So he's going to be the champion until WrestleMania, and then he'll drop it to Reigns, and then he'll be got back to UFC once he's allowed to compete again.
That made me laugh when they were like, he was walking down to the ring, and then Michael Cole was saying something like, "He is the longest active Universal Champion." I'm just like, active? What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Turns up every not of a month.
Yeah.
God's sake. But yeah, it was fine. It's just a spectacle. It's fine. It's not gonna, it's not really gonna be something to write home about. It's been probably better matches from them all in the past, so it was just a thing, just a kind of cool thing that happened.
I can't envision that Kane is going to have, none of the matches he does between now and when he retires are ever going to crack the top 5 Kane matches of all time.
No.
Okay, so guys, right, on to the main event. And the thing that I think we've all been waiting for, and I'm sorry people, I know we gave every single person in the Rumble a rundown, but I can't do that again. I simply can't. My throat is just absolutely closing up at the moment. So
if I may make a suggestion, I feel like if we'd pull out, say, the biggest, most notable highlights, stuff that even surpassed the male Rumble,
absolutely,
that might be a good compromise.
Okay, yeah. First and foremost, can I just say to all the people out there who thought that this match was going to be botch after botch after botch, haha, fuck you, you were wrong, you're a moron. This match was great. I absolutely loved it, and at one point,
another one that was booked to perfection.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, and
really clever.
After Raw, the first thing I think that is of note is first entrant in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, the Bret Hart of the women's division in that standing, because Bret Hart was the first ever entrant in the first ever Royal Rumble, is Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. And I think that's great. I think putting those two together and making them have a, like a 90-second match before...
Two people in there as well.
Yeah, and two people, like, just Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch are so fucking amazing. They are so good. And then, we've got a little bit of downtime coming through, so we've got Sarah Logan and Mandy Rose, who are like two of the new women who have come in through the two new places, Absolution and the Riot Squad. So I think that's good to sort of like introduce them to a more mainstream audience, as well as maybe because they're still not stars yet, but this is how they sort of build their star and they gain their reputation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then number 5. My absolute, one of the moments of the year for me, this was. After being, cast out into the... We all thought, anyway, this must have been something that made this such a more special moment. Because I really didn't think she'd ever step into a ring again. I really never thought she would ever athletically be involved in another match for as long as she lived. Lita. Oh my... I am on the verge of tears as we are speaking about this.
It was good. It was really good to see that. She was a bit rusty, which I think they were bringing back so many people that hadn't wrestled for a long time. And even when they did wrestle, they weren't proper wrestlers at the time.
Not full-time wrestlers. I wouldn't say proper, but I would say like part-time. Yeah,
they were part-time and they hadn't had the 4 years of training that the rest of them had had. But it was great to see Lita back in the ring.
I think the thing that I compare Lita coming back to for the first ever Women's Royal Rumble was the Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair match at WrestleMania that retired Ric Flair out of WWE. Just okay, he's not as much moving as he can do, but all of the pops and all of the little bit of nostalgia and doing like a moonsault, doing the DDT where she pops the leg out, that Lita DDT that I've loved for years, that if I was ever a wrestler, that's the DDT that I would use. Then seeing her do the Twist of Fate and then a moonsault onto two people, I was just I was holding it back.
The worried me a little bit, but because I thought
it did, yeah. I know, no, she didn't quite get the height on that. Yeah, she didn't get the height on that she used to be able to, but like I said, I don't think it matters. When you're so emotionally invested in someone like that, it doesn't matter. That they're not as, as athletically capable as they used to be. It's kind of like how I feel about The Undertaker now, I don't think The Undertaker has had a proper athletic contest probably since, I would say, CM Punk. But it was just so great to see her. All of the emotion, the storytelling, the charisma that they bring to the ring, their own specific brand of it, just absolutely fantastic. Has anybody else got anything to say about those guys?
I would just like to say that it was great to see her, and just that she didn't look like she missed a step.
Yeah.
She looked like she had been waiting to come back as her character, and I'm finally given the opportunity. She just loved it, and I was like, I'm happy for you, and I'm happy to actually see you doing this.
I think it was really clever that she wasn't at Raw 25.
Yes,
as well.
Absolutely, and complaining about it on Twitter.
That she wasn't even invited. That was, it was brilliant, really clever.
I was so angry at Raw 25, especially after that. I was like this has to be her coming into the Royal Rumble, because if this doesn't, I'm going to be so pissed off. Legitimately, at the time, I was verging on cancelling the network just before Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Pissed off with it. Yeah, that's how.
To be honest, that's not that much of a stretch at this point.
Yeah,
This was just I'll leave this tab up. Leave this tab up and just cancel whenever something goes to shit.
Yeah, because for me, Lita and the Hardys and that were three people who basically brought me into wrestling. I am that emotionally involved with them.
It was good. Yeah, and especially some of the other legends that have come back to maybe for one night thing or possibly more.
One person come back that I think was the standout person out of all the legends. But as we move through, I'll point out who that
Okay, cool. The next one, really disappointed by this one. Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane didn't get an elimination, which I thought she would have at least got an elimination. Because I think she should not necessarily be on the same standing as Asuka, but at least on the same standing as, like, you know, somebody who, like, for example, Dana Brooke, who at least eliminated somebody. Actually, yeah, Dana Brooke actually eliminated Kairi Sane, yeah, so... Yeah.
I think with Dana Brooke is... it works both... She's someone that got brought up too early, and now I think she's finally starting to get it, and I think Dana Brooke's slowly getting a lot better. Yeah. And I want to see her do really well. I think they're broadening that sort of patience in her by eliminating someone who's quite new and up and coming, and Kairi Sane. It is disappointing to see her get eliminated like that. But I think she's still got a lot to give in, like, NXT and stuff, so maybe. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with it, really, because when you've got Ember Moon and Sonya Baszler, I can't even pronounce her name.
Sonya Deville.
No. Baszler.
Oh, Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. At the top of the NXT women's division. I don't know where Kairi Sane fits in.
Yeah.
She might be in NXT for a while, but that'll just give her a chance to build, like, her character and possibly develop further than just the
pirate princess. Yeah. She really likes yachting, which is what, like, that's what Michael Cole thinks. Cats.
God. It annoyed me so much that Stephanie and Michael Cole were both on that. They could have they could have used JR or someone. Yeah. Stephanie really didn't add anything at all to that.
But she didn't disgrace herself, which I think is a plus.
She didn't. But all she did was just, like, point out the occasional, like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, and the one thing, like, you know, we was talking about the blood earlier. I wanted to say this, like, because WWE don't do blood anymore, we have missed out on an immense opportunity for Stephanie McMahon to go busted wide open.
I mean, we'll keep her around just so she can say Monday Night Raw. Because she can do that well.
Yeah. And she didn't even say what a maneuver. People. She didn't even say what a maneuver. Like, at least if you're going to do this and you're the daughter of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, say what a maneuver.
What a maneuver.
Okay, so like we said, Tamina basically walked in and got walked out again by Lita. Dana Brooke.
I didn't see the point of Tamina. I was just
also, what the fuck was she wearing?
Fashion files.
I think Tamina is still paying for the sins of her father. Essentially, that's what that is. They don't ever want to put her massively into the spotlight ever again until people are a comfortable distance away from the unpleasantness. Dana Brooke also came along, eliminated Kairi Sane. Once again, like, you know, we said this a little bit earlier, but she is really underrated now, and she's getting slowly better and better and better, and I would really like to see her in I actually really like the role she's playing as a statistician with Worldwide. She was actually one of, I think, the better people on Raw 25, like, pointing out people cheating and stuff like that. Yeah,
I think what they could do with her is make her like this sort of person that's come a long way. She's built up herself, and they could put her as, like, the underdog in a match between two other people that are probably, you know, arguably better, or been two mainstays.
Like a 4 Horsewomen or something like that.
Yeah, put her in a match in between, like, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch or something, and she comes out as the winner. Yeah. Because I think she's showing that she can do really well. She's sort of like the female equivalent as, like, Braun Strowman. They both came up at the same time, pushed too early, and you could see that it was quite a flaw in, you know, their work, that they were inexperienced. But now they're both getting it, and Strowman more so, but she will get there, and I think she could be quite good.
Did we want to talk about the legends that came in?
Yes.
Because Tori Wilson's next, isn't she? Yeah, would you like to talk about a few of them?
I'm trying to think of all the legends over there. There was Tori Wilson,
Molly Holly,
Michelle McCall,
Jacqueline,
Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, God. Excuse me.
That was, I'm sorry, but yeah, like, just like Elias earlier on, the Vicky Guerrero segment is one of my absolute favourite things that's ever happened in a Rumble ever. And I just, absolutely have someone with the surname Guerrero in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. That was just absolutely fantastic to me.
I mean, I was talking to... I sent a message to Craig because he was doing the live tweeting for the event. And I said to him... I wasn't around when Vicky Guerrero was a general manager, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't.
No, I will say, as much as I absolutely adore Vicky Guerrero, that excuse me gimmick got on my tits. It really did.
It got on my tits, and I was only there for like the event. I can't imagine what it was been like for like maybe 2+ years for listening to that. So I feel your pain now. And who else was there? There was I'm trying to think if I missed anyone.
Kelly.
Yep, Kelly.
Beth Phoenix.
Oh, Beth Phoenix. Oh, my God,
the two things I want to point out are Michelle McCool actually got the most eliminations.
Yeah, who the hell saw that coming? Who on earth?
Out of all the women, I really enjoyed how well Michelle McCool. Like, it was so obvious that she's been having training with Undertaker because, as well as like a.
Is she still with Undertaker?
Yeah.
And
she had the crosses on her attire, and she was fantastic. She looked like she could get back in the ring with someone tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she actually did, because who the hell saw that coming? Like. I was almost thinking that was going to be like some kind of like betting scam that they were pulling off. Like Michelle McCool getting the most eliminations in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. I mean, don't get me wrong, she looked fantastic and absolutely good on her. She looked, actually a lot better than some of the other legends who were possibly better received, by me, if anybody else. But do we want to talk about the person they left for number 30?
We'll get to that. But I was going to say the Beth Phoenix bit where she squared off with Nia Jax.
Oh yeah.
That was really good. That was probably the moment of the Rumble for me.
Yeah.
And then with Natalya. Oh.
Yeah, and Natalya, because I think Natalya and Beth Phoenix are two of the best technical female wrestlers they've had.
Absolutely.
On WWE. And I think the only thing that disappoints me is that Nia Jax is still waiting for a moment. It annoyed me that she wasn't in the final two. I would have liked to have seen her square off, I think, with Asuka.
Yeah.
It's like a double-edged sword with WWE.
I think we just spoiled ourselves there.
No, because I feel like when it comes to WWE, whenever they're booking like, oh look, this person's huge. Oh look, how could they possibly be eliminated? And then they get eliminated every time.
Well,
so it's just like a trend that they just need to try and get out of.
I mean, it is a what's it called? It does make logical sense that the biggest person in the room would get a bunch of people trying to keep them out at the same time. That they would have this massive bullseye on their chest. I think that would make sense, because if I was, in a fight against, me and a bunch of people, and there was one bloke who was like 2 foot above the rest of us, I would absolutely say, right, let's knock this one out first.
Speaking of which, we missed that out actually when we was talking about the men's one. When Cena got straight in the ring and everyone just jumped.
Oh, yes.
That was brilliant. That was so clever.
Oh, so good, yeah. And do you know what? That is actually a thing. Like, and I'm sure we've missed loads of bits out of the Women's Rumble as well, but like, these Rumbles have been so packed and got in so much good stuff. Yeah. We're going to forget stuff.
Too much to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, like, oh, God, like, I really liked Hurricane Helms, like, trying to choke slam John Cena. And then getting him chucked out immediately afterwards. I would have liked to have seen him go on longer. I really would have done, because I really like Gregory Helms. Just
with
really
Reigns
cool.
Dressed as Rosie, that would have been great.
Yeah. and the other person from NXT that came in, who similarly to Adam Cole had an injury that they were working through. Ember Moon. And again, no eliminations, which I was actually kind of surprised at.
But they did have a really good moment with Asuka.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I tweeted this, but I never give Ember Moon enough credit, because when I first started watching her, I think I never really appreciated her up until where she had that last shot of Asuka's title. where she comes so close to beating her and then still lost. That was when I realised, Ember Moon is really good and she does deserve to win that title.
Yeah.
I was actually
ever since she did that the stunner, her version of the stunner, I was like, okay, I'm in, I'm all in. Let's see what you can do.
That stunner, by the way, is called the Eclipse, and she did it one-armed against Asuka. That was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, and I actually thought that they were actually going to have Ember Moon eliminate Asuka as because I think the original plan for Asuka was to leave NXT having been beaten by Ember Moon, but Ember Moon then got injured and that couldn't happen. And so I actually think that I thought that might have been how they finally got it and transitioned Asuka from never having been defeated to never having been pinned, which is a very important distinction in WWE. They do it all the time. They did it with Kurt Angle back in the day. Had him eliminated by Taz, and then basically went him from being never
Taz.
Been defeated to never been pinned. Really? Was it not Taz?
No, I was just saying Taz, what could have been?
Okay, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Do we lumber in Mickie James with all of the legends as well?
Because
we did.
I
okay,
she should, even though she's on the active roster, she is a legend in her own right. And
absolutely,
the moment with Trish Stratus where Trish was saying, "I'm 7-time, you're 6-time." Let's do this. That was really good.
Yeah.
At one moment, I was expecting Trish to do the. By
the way, guys, we haven't announced we haven't announced who was number 30.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's go into it. Okay, right. Just before that though, funnily enough, Wikipedia actually has because we had a really awesome thing in the next couple of them after Mickie James. At 27. The person who came out at 27, the number in the Men's Royal Rumble that has had the most winners, we got out Nikki Bella.
Very clever.
Yeah, that was really clever, I thought.
I
thought
thought
that was a good bit of psychology.
In that time.
Almost matching Michelle McCall's record, which, once again, who saw that coming?
I'll be the first to say here that I'm not really a particular fan of Nikki Bella.
No, me neither.
No.
Do you know what?
Brie Bella, on the other hand.
No, okay. I will say this. I will say this. Nikki Bella's last run in WWE before the whole John Cena and the Miz thing, I thought she was one of the best heels on WWE television. Someone who really took an understanding of heel psychology and played that role to perfection in a way that a lot of people on this roster and in creative are really getting confused these days. And I thought she was a straight up great heel. And do you know what? I thought she was going to win it, and I weren't even mad.
No, I was mad.
I only felt mad because I felt like, oh no, this is the corporation coming back in. This is the investors coming in saying oh no, we need to have someone favourable. We need to please the Total Bella fans.
Yeah. You guys were about to say very pleasing and nice things about Brie Bella.
Yeah. Did not expect her to be in the match. To be honest.
Me neither.
And it was nice. It was nice to see her do really well. I was really, really angry when Nikki eliminated her. Really angry.
I was like, why do they always do this? Why do they not?
She's always the twin that comes off the worst.
Yeah.
And she's, I would say, arguably the better of the two, technically.
I don't know. Brie has never made much of an impact on me, I have to say.
But she's done a lot better now since they're obviously pushing her through, the Daniel Bryan stuff through, and she did really well with the, that. As soon as she come in, she's doing the movement and
it seemed to me okay, she wanted to be a mother and that, and she wanted to start a family, but she just kind of retired just as she was really picking up steam and momentum, which I would like to have seen her. I'd like to have seen what we could have seen a bit more from her.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen her come on top one more time. Careful how you say that. Against Nikki, it would have been it would have been great to see her be the one that came out on top against Nikki.
Yeah.
But we'll probably never get to see that, unfortunately.
Cool. Right. Michelle McCall, the person who got once again the most eliminations in this Rumble, was herself eliminated by Natalya which I thought was fantastic. Really gave Natalya something to because I was actually thinking that because like we said earlier, Bret Hart was the first ever entrant in the first ever Royal Rumble. I thought they might have given it to Natalya. Yeah. As sort of like, put her name in the history books that way. Because once again, like I keep saying this every time Natalya comes up, but the most underrated women's wrestler of all time. I fucking love Natalya, and I just I really wanted her last title run to be a bit more meaningful and have like maybe have her do one last monster push before she kind of takes a step back and lets a few younger people take her place. But is there anything before we move on to how it all ended? Oh yeah, okay, right, finally we can actually talk about 29, the 29th entrant, the person comes out, Bayley, and Bayley gets an elimination, but something happens. Does anybody want to go through what happens to her after that elimination?
She got eliminated by Sasha Banks.
Was there any particular... Because,
which I've been building to for quite a long time, actually.
Yeah, but it's kind of like... It's once again Bayley being given the shaft, because she was only in there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and once again Banks sort of turning heel, I think. She is better at, because I think she's got that sort of attitude to her that she plays really well. So that will probably be one of the other matches on the WrestleMania card. Will be
my only issue is with it is that it could more than likely just be like shoved under the rug, just swept under there. Let's say oh no, it's just a Rumble thing. Everyone was doing it. Yeah. Fine, fair enough. And then never really bring it up again.
And that's because I want to see Bayley have that because I thought was it like a sort of thing where Bayley was like attacked from behind, or like they were having a hug and they were like, because I didn't like this kind of passed me by a bit. Suddenly I was looking down at my phone, I looked up and then Bayley was out.
I think it was they were like celebrating, and then Sasha grabbed...
Was it after they eliminated
Nia Jax?
Oh no, Bayley wasn't in at that point. I
didn't. Nia Jax, along with everybody else, is the only elimination that Bayley actually got.
I remember it was at one point because Trish Stratus. Sorry, I remember bringing her up again. But when she did the whole throwing her off the top turnbuckle with the legs. That's the exact move. Don't quote me on that. But I can't remember the order of events now. It's getting
it was Bayley. Bayley went out straight after Nia Jax because they were celebrating with Sasha Banks, and then she just threw her out. I guess it was quite clever. Again, there's so many little spots, little moments that you forget happened because it was so much that happened, and it was booked so well that it's one of those ones that you're going to go back and I think I will watch it again tonight because I want to relive the little moments that happened.
Dude, I've already watched Takeover twice. I'm going to watch probably this one again.
So it was great, and then we got our number 30.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we can officially talk about her.
Yeah. Trish Stratus, another person we never thought would step inside a WWE ring ever again.
Oh, and it.
Sorry?
I wasn't expecting it because I thought we got to number 30.
Yeah.
Everyone was building up that it was going to be Ronda Rousey.
Which we'll talk about this later, but that video they put on YouTube with TMZ was so staged.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
In fact, I saw your tweet about it, Lee.
Yeah.
That's how I knew about it.
Just come on.
Is it the one where she comes out of an airport and then someone who clearly doesn't know about wrestling was like, are you going to appear on the...
Someone who didn't even know what the Royal Rumble was called.
Yeah,
the Rumble Royal.
The Rumble, the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, if you listen carefully, you can hear him flicking through his notes, desperately trying to find the name of the event. But it was just when it comes to that, we should really be talking about this later. But anyway, we'll just finish it off now. But okay, have the thing where it's like everything's in kayfabe and you need to not make everything quite so corporate as to have the dotting the T's and the crossing the I's and stuff. But you can do better than that. One thing I have learned from this is that Ronda Rousey, I don't think is going to have the charisma to allow her to do promos and stuff. I think she's going to be one of those people where someone's always going to be standing in the ring, a la Brock Lesnar, talking trash on her behalf, while she just sort of like sits there, standing bemused and quite like amused at everything that's going on around her.
I don't know, actually. I really don't want them to book her as a female Brock Lesnar.
I don't think they will, because she doesn't have that kind of stature. Like,
no, and she has lost. Like, that was the whole reason why she's not in UFC. She lost in the whole like infamousy of being undefeated. She lost that sort of
kicked in the head like once in 30 seconds, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
So I want her to make her this sort of woman that is vulnerable. So she isn't. She's good, exactly like they've done with Baszler and Emma Moon.
Yeah.
So she's brutal, but she's got vulnerabilities because she isn't an actual, she hasn't got that sort of in-ring awareness where she could be in a submission move but then get flipped on her back and get pinned.
Yeah.
I want her to sort of play on that a bit.
Cool. And to cap us off, the number 25 entrant, the eventual winner of the Royal Rumble and still undefeated Asuka.
Happy with it.
No issues whatsoever.
No. I wanted it to be Nia, but the way they've gone with it, I think Asuka was probably the right choice.
Yeah, as well. As I was saying earlier on, like her making the transition from being Lee, never been pinned to never defeated to never been pinned, I think Asuka deserves better than that. I think she's the absolute best in-ring performer in WWE's women's division right now. Absolutely.
It's just a matter of they booked her into a corner on NXT.
Yeah.
She has to lose at some point.
She would.
Can't.
I think she needs to turn heel. I think she needs to turn heel for that to be a moment that matters.
Yeah, definitely. Although it would work as a face, because if she loses as a face, people would be even more shocked, I think.
Yeah.
They'll be upset.
No, I wouldn't even say she's technically a face. I'd say she's more of like an in-betweener at this point, because she does heelish stuff, but then she still gets decent pops and that. So I'd call it in between us. But when they do make that distinction of she's going to be like the most like deadliest woman in the entire roster.
Yeah,
and that's when I'm like, oh, there we go. That's what that would be the cherry on top.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm Asuka's really sort of like captured my imagination, I have to say. Also, one thing I will say, back-to-back Rumbles, 2 Rumbles, the first time there's ever been 2 Rumbles, both of the winners, Asian. That was something that really shocked me. In fact, I actually thought after
is it a marketing point as well?
Maybe they're trying to break into more into the East now. That Jericho, maybe that was the point of Jericho going over there in the first place, was to give people more of a appetite for WWE style wrestling. Maybe that's a very clever plan by Vincent Kennedy McMahon, which I certainly would not count him out of if that did turn out to be the case. But yeah,
and like we said earlier, they said they're not in competition.
Yeah,
with other brands like Ring of Honor and New Japan. So
yeah.
All working together could definitely work for this.
Absolutely, and I mean, I'm actually really happiest I have been with WWE programming in months, maybe even years. Just 2 Rumbles I absolutely felt 100% invested in the whole way through. Even if the person who won turned out to be somebody who I wasn't that interested in, I still would have been fine with it because people were shown to be so strong throughout.
And then we had the surprise guest.
At the end, yes. Like we were saying beforehand, she didn't make an appearance in the Rumble for reasons I suspect have something to do with her being in-ring ready. I don't think she would have been able to kept up with the rest of them. Oh, crap, I didn't talk about Molly Holly. Just very quickly before we do this... Molly Holly was one of the legends, and she is the person who I pray to God tonight on Raw or tomorrow on SmackDown has a little bit of a reunites with Gregory Helms to be once more the Hurricane and Hurricane Holly. Yeah.
For that same reason is why I was hoping Stacy Keibler was going to be in there.
Oh, really?
So I really wanted to see Super Stacy.
No, I think she's done. Actually, I think she's I think she's properly She is beyond it now, yeah. But yeah. So anyway, after the match, after the Royal Rumble, the two champions, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, two people who I actually think, you know what? I know the winner is supposed to face the champion, but how do you have the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match without Charlotte Flair in it?
Yeah.
Like, how do you,
I guess that's the compromise, when they just have them, standing by possible next opponent could be.
Okay. You have to sort out what happens if either Alexa Bliss or Charlotte Flair wins, but, figure that out if it happens. Come on, people. Put Charlotte and Alexa into the Royal Rumble. That's nitpicking. Overall, absolutely loved it. But yeah, after the match, Asuka stands in between the two champions, and everyone's awaiting what she's going to say. And then all of a sudden, some music hits. And some font very reminiscent of an old, dearly departed WWE superstar, a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest of all time, comes on. But it doesn't say Rowdy Roddy Piper. It doesn't say Hot Rod. It says Ronda Rousey. To which one day it's she is clearly going to be, and God help her career if she gets called this, but she's going to be called Hot Ron.
I didn't realise, but someone pointed out to me on Twitter that apparently she had actually been given permission to run with that sort of gimmick and stuff, by her son, and Hot Rod before he died said he'd like to see Ronda Rousey run with that. And the jacket she was wearing was actually one of Roddy's. So.
Yeah, and I think that's quite cynical of me to say this, but I think that's a very clever move by Ronda Rousey, because this gives her a sort of I really do love
with the fans, I guess.
A sort of I'm not just somebody. She's basically saying that I'm not just I've not just come in just trying to take over wrestling. I am actually a wrestling fan and would love to be a wrestler with the Hot Rod jacket. Essentially what WWE have ended off with here, Big Four pay-per-views with one of their traditional trademark cliffhangers, which is supposed to have us all asking questions. But WWE have proven themselves to be quite bad at this, and so the only thing I've got now is just this impending sense of confusion. Just utterly I have no idea what's going on. She keeps pointing.
That's how they get you to watch Raw.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's I would rather them give me, I can't wait to see what happens here, what happens there. But Lynn's just Asuka never said who she wants to face at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey just comes out and keeps pointing at the sign, and then she stopped pointing at the sign, and then she started pointing at the sign again. And then I was a bit what, does she just, is she being given cues and she just doesn't know what to do next, and she just fell back on the thing that she knew she was supposed to do in the first place? It's
pointing at the WrestleMania sign is one of my greatest pet hates.
Oh, really?
I hated it when John Cena was doing it. I hated it when Roman Reigns started doing it. I hate it in general because it's just you're pointing at a sign. You're not dramatic. You're just pointing. It would have been dramatic if you did it as an actual thing, but it's just it just looks like you're a 4-year-old going into a McDonald's thinking, I want them to.
Yeah, I have a main event slot at WrestleMania, and can you put fries in with that?
Yeah, it doesn't come off as dramatic to me. It just comes across as lazy.
I don't know.
Someone just goes, how do we make this moment dramatic? Point them at the sign, mate.
I kind of like it as a sort of tradition. I think it has its place.
It's good if you don't do it 6 times in the space of a minute.
Then again, after you go up the ramp.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Ronda Rousey, I'm glad she wasn't in the Rumble.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely.
Because I think it would have took the limelight away from the rest of the women. It's their moment, not hers.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you read my predictions on the Royal Rumble, which I suppose are defunct now, you can read all about my opinion on that. Yeah, on SteelChair.com, a fabulous website. A fantabulous website. Go on, Bradley. Sorry, I'll cut you off there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it wasn't about her, and I think it was quite obvious that she was due to turn up, whether it'd be on Raw afterwards or at the Rumble. I think they're doing the right thing because obviously she's a huge name, and you can't just shove her into the rest of the card. She's going to be part. She signed a full contract, so she's going to be part of the main show or whatever. It's just a matter of how they're going to book it, and that's why they're really clever with what they did, is because they're making people tune into Raw and SmackDown, and that's why they always leave these questions unanswered things, particularly at WrestleMania season, is to get more people watching. So I'm interested to see if she's going to wrestle before WrestleMania. If so, who? Is she going to win? Is Asuka going to lose before WrestleMania? Probably not. I would like to see Asuka lose at WrestleMania as well.
I think I would like to see her lose at WrestleMania if it made sense.
Yeah. If she was champion at WrestleMania, if it was the other way around, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see her fall at the first hurdle if she, she's won all the way up until her first WWE Women's Championship match. I think that would be a bit, because ultimately, she has won, so she can't have a shot at the title until WrestleMania time. Surely,
I think the confusing part is that it looks like Asuka and Ronda both want to face Charlotte. So where does it leave Alexa Bliss? Is she just going to be put aside and then Bliss is going to face Nia Jax, or is it going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks taking on?
I feel like it was probably setting up Ronda versus Charlotte and then Asuka versus Alexa.
Yeah,
because that'd probably be the logical conclusion. But
I think
it wasn't set up well to give you that actual indication.
I think they'll keep Asuka with on Raw, so therefore she'll be facing Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
which I can't see her losing. I cannot see her losing that at all. But Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey is okay. That's going to bring in that's going to bring in the big bucks. Not necessarily the person I would want Charlotte, because Charlotte's so good. And
I was going to say, technically, the best match would be Charlotte versus Asuka.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
But we're saying all this without having seen Ronda in the ring, so maybe, she has got that UFC background. Those people that have got the amateur wrestling background or whatever, MMA, can transition. Look at Sonya Deville's pretty good.
Yeah.
Baszler's good.
Kurt Angle, Ken Shamrock, Lesnar,
exactly. So I think she will do well, and I want to see her do well, because if she's having the hot rod gimmick, it could work quite well for her.
And you never know
which is. Need to just not make her a female Brock Lesnar, and then it'll be.
And you never know how things will turn out. I mean, think back to the last WrestleMania when we were told that it's going to be Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles, and we thought, this is going to be boring as hell. But it turned out to be one of the best matches of the night.
I actually thought it was a match of the night. Yeah.
If Charlotte is good at calling matches, and I think she really is, then this could turn out to be just as good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I would prefer to see Charlotte with somebody like Becky, like a one-on-one especially. I would like to see a one-on-one championship match, and I would especially like to see it be or like somebody with Becky Lynch. Hell, Christ, Carmella's still got the Money in the Bank briefcase. Which
is that going to be how Asuka loses?
Maybe.
Which I think would be a clever way to do it.
But what's she can you have that? I suppose you can have it until the next Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
But if I was Carmella right now, I'd just use that to just insert me straight into the main event. I mean, Christ's sake, she's held onto it for long enough. She
even got hit with it.
Yeah. Oh, Vicky Guerrero hitting her with the Money in the Bank briefcase, I thought was fantastic. Yeah.
I like that you can still hear her, even though she was still leaving. She's going, get out of my way!
Do you know, it's a little known fact this, but WWE spent more money in the 2000s than they have done at any other point, specifically to buy Vicky Guerrero throat medicine. Let's face it, she probably needed a lot of it. I have been talking for the last 2.5 hours, and I like at a normal pace, and I think I need some. And I think unless anybody has got anything else they would like to add.
There's the Royal Rumbles have been getting better and better ever since their flop with the big old controversial Roman Reigns booing fest. And after that, I think they learned a huge lesson, and they've improved tenfold.
Still should have had Bray Wyatt one last year instead of Randy Orton, but that's a different kettle of fish entirely. Yeah,
definitely better than last year. I'm not going to say that this is the best Rumble ever, but it's definitely up in my favourites.
It's at the moment clawing for that position, I have to say. Maybe this is just proximity infatuation. Maybe as I get some distance, it won't be an absolutely fantastic match. Bradley, did you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think given context and everything, they've done it really well. It'll go down in history as one of the best ever. I'm
absolutely
too scared to put my balls out and say that it's the best ever.
It's still got some competition. You've still got 92 and things like that.
Given the shit we've had in recent years, it stands out massively.
Hugely,
So I'm really happy with it. So I think we're going to look forward to a good WrestleMania season. So it's a great way to start.
Yeah.
Great way to start.
Okay, yeah, and like I just said, like there are a few things in wrestling, guys, that just produce the amount of happiness that a good, well-booked, well-told story in a Rumble can do. And WWE gave us that in spades today, and I feel the best about WWE than I have done in months. I'm now really looking forward to the future, really looking forward to Elimination Chamber, really looking forward to WrestleMania. And there you have it, folks. That was a SteelChair Shoot. Thank you for listening to all of our ramblings. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share, and to comment if you agree or if you disagree. Check out the mag at vulturehound and steelchair.com, where you can find all of our back issues, and you can check us out on Twitter at SteelChair Mag. Bradley, what is your Twitter handle?
It is at Bradley Tiernan, and that's spelled Tiernan.
James, what is your... here we go, the annual rant about James not being able to get his proper Twitter name.
No, it's New Year, New Me, Lee. I have got over that. So
your Twitter handle is now New Year, New Me?
No. It's at JamesRT101, and like I said, all our articles you can find on the website and in our lovely magazine. For example, most recently, I managed to get my interview of AJ Styles in there.
Oh, so that made the cover, I believe, actually, as well.
Yeah.
You are a cover star.
I know. I'm not going to let it go to my head. Hopefully. Does anyone else want to plug their work?
Well, I was just going to say...
I don't do enough.
Well, you can find all of the content that I've been creating for the magazine, and also check out the YouTube channels that we've got. You've got SteelChair Magazine here. You've also got Vulturehound, for which I will soon be putting up another film review, and a bit later on in the week I will be hopefully putting up another retro review for the video game magazine that for the video game channel on YouTube, which currently is just my name. Like, the name of the YouTube channel is just my name. Because I need David, our editor-in-chief, to do it, and he keeps letting it slip. Anyway, right, absolutely fine on that. You can find me at Fight Like a Cow on Twitter. Thank you, guys, and I will see you all next time.